Recently, life has been pretty different, to say the least. We left off in the last recent videos with buying a house. And with buying a house comes house problems. Recently, we had our good friend Drew over to help us remodel the bathroom. It was a quick one-day job. There's still some odds and ends that need to be completed. Just like the holes in the wall still, but that's okay because I'm planning to learn how to do drywall work. I also need to finish the flooring in here, figure out the vanity. And a lot of you guys gave some great suggestions about the flooring here. I did not realize how important it was to have waterproof flooring, and I guess this technically isn't since water can go in between the cracks. The whole reason we had to start redoing this bathroom is because when we moved in, the whole toilet was shaking, the floor was squishy over here. Not a good time. Upon taking off the toilet and inspecting the floor, it got worse. But that's okay, we got it all knocked out. A lot of you guys suggested to re-caulk the tub. We actually don't use this tub at all. We're planning to really tear this whole section down and redo it, but that is going to be for another day. And when I do that, that's when I'll put in different flooring. But I do really appreciate you guys for giving me suggestions because first time homeowner, I have no idea what I'm doing, just kind of learning as I go. While Drew and I were working on the bathroom restoration, Miss Tay refreshed the entire master bedroom. So if you guys want to check out the whole process to doing this, make sure to check her channel. She stained the floors, painted the walls, painted the dressers. So sick. Love what she did to the place. I've been loving the sunsets here. Let's get this thing prepped for a drift event. Now once in a while I'll do a bolt check, usually every oil change, but we're not going to do an oil change today. We're just going to check fluids. So I got the coolant cap off, looks like we're a little bit low. Top that off. Oil. A little dark. We'll fill it up with a little bit more. It's slightly low. Not too bad though. Other than that, that's really all I check. It's really that simple. This thing has been an absolute ripper. And a very brief recap for anyone that's not familiar with this exact Z32 build. I saved this car from going to the junkyard and I got it as a shell. Had tan interior. I ended up doing a black interior swap. Well, actually I did a blue interior trade first and then started collecting some black. Still missing a few trim pieces here and there. It's coming together pretty good. Got this hood off of a former police officer. My friend Andrew refreshed it, put some flames on it. Nice clear coat. Came out killer. Now the engine bay. This is what's like most unique about this car, I'd say. This is a KA of an S13 240SX. I found this in the junkyard. I have it paired to the stock Z32 transmission, and I also found that trans in the junkyard as well. Different car, different yard. Another thing that is unique about this car is the strut towers. I converted to use S13. So this is McPherson front with stance coils and drop knuckles in the front. By the way, if you want to get 15% off stance coils, use code PRIZA at checkout. Stance is the best coils in my opinion. I run them on every single one of my cars. SR, S13, Integra Sedan, Skyline, 240. I've always run them. Swear by them. Now I finally get to work with them and give you guys a hookup. So I'm very, very hyped for that. Additionally, I put the power steering reservoir in the, this is where the stock Z32 shock is supposed to go. You're probably wondering, how did you figure out where to put this? Well, I made a jig out of an S14 and bolted everything up, welded it together on the S14, and then bolted that jig up to the Z32, and that's how I figured out where I needed to mount the top hats. Now the KA here is only at 5 PSI, so we got an overkill turbo and an R-Tech V-band manifold. Pretty stout setup. I have no complaints. There's also a radium fuel rail with ID 1050 injectors and a whole lot of other sensors and plugs that we don't even have connected yet. But that's okay. That's down the line. I just wanted to run this thing like a stock, healthy, reliable setup. This thing gets down as is. I only want to turn this thing up so I can do tandems a little more comfortably, but as is, this car is a blast to drive. You gotta drive it hard. Because 5 PSI, it's enough to go sideways, but it's not enough to like take off on someone, you know. I'm gonna be utilizing the rest of the 10W30 Valvoline VR1. This is my oil of choice, especially for these engines that get all the abuse. And no, I am not sponsored by them. I wish I was. Even though I'm doing very simple things on a car right now, it's a great relief after working on the house so much. These recent repairs have absolutely drained my wallet, so Got to recoup a little bit and keep it low key. And I know you guys mentioned before that you are interested in seeing drift content, so I'm going to document that for you guys as well. We'll just put the rest in it, right? It's going to burn it anyways. It's okay. We're all prepped under the hood. Also, at drift events, some things that they look for, which is tech, the people that inspect your cars and make sure that you're good to go on track, is a sock over your brake reservoir. This is a pretty important one. Just in case it boils over, they want it to spill and absorb into the sock. Same thing with the power steering, which mine's in the wheel well, so it's all situated in there. The other thing you want to do is have a battery tie down. Seems pretty obvious, but you know, a lot of us don't always have battery tie downs. Another thing is covering the positive terminal. Sometimes electrical tape is good enough depending on who's running the event. Others will want a more durable and rubber type cover. Now let's get into what we pack for the event. So we're obviously going to need another pair of wheels or tires. You're not always guaranteed to have a tire machine at the track, so you know, no one's really selling tires at drift events, although sometimes at US Air they do, which is kind of clutch. But I always plan to bring wheels that I can slap on the car without putting a spacer or anything on it. So I know for a fact that these two wheels are, I think they're like the same spec, if not just close enough that they look the same. 18 by 10 plus 20-ish. So I'll just bring wheels that I know fit the rear of the car. Bolt on, no problem. And these tires have already been flipped, so these are ready to rock. I'll probably burn those up first at the event because these still need to be flipped. Sorry, I know I'm kind of rambling, but this is my process of how I go to events. I've seen a few comments asking what I pack and how I prepare, so I've never really filmed anything like that, so I figured, you know, this time, why not? We'll do something like that. Another thing, important to bring an air pump, because during events and comfortability during the events, you're going to be adjusting your tire pressures. At least for me, I always like to start off with the tire pressure cranked all the way up, because that means the car brakes lose a lot easier. It's typically a little slower that way, like driving wise, or I guess speed wise is a better way to put it. So you have a little more confidence. But as the day progresses, you feel more comfortable with the car, you lower your pressures, then you're going a little faster, you're gripping up more. Just, you know, my personal preference. This time I packed my VX camera just to get maybe some old school style footage. Got some coolant in here, got my impact. I usually don't bring a jack unless I'm planning to really drive hard, but one of my friends is bringing a jack, so there's no point to really bringing two. Also notice I'm not trailering my car. I have never trailered my car to a drift event. I've always driven. That includes the drift events I drove in California and Washington with Mr. Stevie Stewack. Back when we did our S13 road trip. Same year as the T-Bone, actually. Another thing I got, pretty essential here, tool bag. It's got like hand tools, pry bars, just random stuff that I can use on the car, and a 36 millimeter. Why is that important? Because that is the size of the axle nut. If you bust an axle, can't drive home, you're gonna want the socket to replace the axle. But no, I'm not bringing axles. Kind of funny how that works. You always find a way. When stuff breaks at the track, if you're resourceful, you can find a way to make things work. And last but not least, these are the cursed parts that have been breaking on this car. Now my S13 never did this to me. That's the best car. That's why I love that car so much. But the Z, however, I've had some issues with it. I have popped 2 power steering lines and 2 HD clamps, which is like a fancy intercooler coupler. And for me, when things break twice in the same year, and it's a quality brand new part, you kind of question it. So I got a spare clamp on standby, got the same size, 2.5 inch. And I got a brand new power steering line just in case a third one pops. I mean, ISR, so that's not really saying too much about quality, but you know, it works. It's just a braided high pressure line, nothing too crazy. But my last couple just popped in random spots. It wasn't even rubbing on the chassis or anything. I hope that answers some of you guys' questions about what I pack, how I prep, things like that. On top of all that, I'll try and squeeze whatever merch I possibly can in here. Oh, you know what? You guys are probably wondering what body kit this is. So everything is Bomex except the wing. The wing is a Gretty Gracer, but custom because Andrew and I added these little flares to the top because we didn't think it was aggressive enough to match the kit. So see how like the bottom of the kit has this little flare on it? It definitely adds to the aggressive factor, especially to the bottom end of the car. But I felt like the wing needed something there. If it was just smooth, it wouldn't feel as aggressive. But now it gives me the Cokie Type X style S13 vibes, which is exactly what I was going for. That's why I call it the 240 ZX. Hope that makes sense. Infamous wiper delete. I don't know how I almost forgot this very important factor. Debatably the most important factor. But a fire extinguisher is crucial to have on deck. And I am also speaking from experience because when one of those power steering lines popped at a drift event, my entire engine bay caught on fire. So I had to pull off really quick, get out of the car, pop the pin, and hose her down. Luckily, there was no crucial damage, and I was able to drive home after putting a new power steering line on it. Funny enough, I brought the power steering line to the event, so I was already prepared for that. Thank God. Speaking of all this power steering talk, do we have fluid? Oh yeah. God, I love this car so much. What's up? Ready?
Am I following you?
Yeah.
Alright.
Ah, it's so good to be back here. So excited to drive. I think the last time last time I drove here was in the 240, but no, it was definitely in this car. Unpainted though, and non-turbo. Alright, let's find a pit spot. It's gonna be a fun day. Hey bro, should've got an RB.
How dare you!
What's up guys?
LS swap. Yeah, LS swap.
Devin!
Yeah, you can the man zoned in.
Alright, so I don't know how this happened, but I have not put a single sticker on the Z yet. So I felt like it'd be right to put it in its destined spot. Something about the chrome in the center. Good stuff. This is all I have. This is like 3 laps.
You wanna use my tires?
Don't offer me that. Or do. Alright, since we were real smart and came here on all tires worn all the way down, I decided to get the Model 6's flip. Thank God there's a tire machine here. We got really lucky, so we'll come back for those when these RG2s are cooked. Let's get some laps in. Alright, track's cold for some reason, so let's do some actual prep. I got the rear tires filled up to about 40. I think that's a pretty solid start. Luckily this course isn't technical, so you don't need to worry about too much tight turns and gripping up and whatnot. Another thing is, I forgot that my VX bag has my GoPro in it. I haven't used this thing in ages. This is the exact camera I filmed the entire S13 rebuild on. Useless information for you. I also have this media adapter that allows you to attach an external mic, so I'm gonna try and get some engine sounds or maybe exhaust sounds. We'll see. I like mounting it outside of the car. Maybe I'll do some inside shots, but it's cool when you have engine sounds and not just wind noise, you know? It would appear I don't have the right fitting, so sorry, no external mic for you guys today. What the?
Luis's wheel just fell off. Mike's about to go. Nico is here, about to go out.
You two. All right, ready, go.
this S14 is my favorite car here. This shit fucks. That was a good lap.
This thing's good.
Hell yeah. Killed it. Ah.
Bro, this flew off the mid drift and I caught it. Alright. It's crazy to think he hasn't been in the Z.
Well, no, the one time.
So the streeting doesn't count.
Yeah.
There's a one turn. Alright.
Have fun!
I just wanna run so far away. I never wanna see the fucking light of day. Cut me open and hang me out to dry. 'Cause these aching bones of mine won't let me sleep tonight. Won't let me sleep tonight. It's much better than nothing. From the time my feet hit the floor, I wonder what I'm fighting for. I'm distant, and this feeling's persistent. Every second off the clock is one too.
Well, it would appear that we have already run out of our first pair of wheels, tires. Balding, chunking off. I would run them dry, but we might need to drive home on them still. We do have some Model 6s as well that I just got flipped, thankfully. However, there is someone here that has some brand new tires. Can I use your wheels?
Yes.
What's the cost?
3 kisses. Thank you.
Okay.
They're all yours.
Thank you.
What's the cost, huh?
It's 3 kisses.
Oh, wow.
I can afford
That's
that.
a good deal, right? That's a good
All right, BR's going on the Z. I've never seen 18 chrome 5 spokes in the rear, so I'm pretty hyped on that. Well, well, well. Look who decided to finally show up.
Hey, nice shirt.
Hey, white drop too.
Shout out Prison Mike.
I'm using his jack. Hopefully he doesn't need it. Frame's chrome.
You have a chrome subframe?
It's kind of dirty though.
Yeah.
Thanks, honey.
Life of a drift girlfriend.
All right, what do we think about the chromes in the back? These look like 17s, I can't even lie. Probably needs another 20 mil spacer to sit correctly, but hey, you know what? Fresh rubbers, let's get it. Hayes back on the RG2s. Can't go wrong on chrome RG2s. All right, let's do some more laps. Good car.
And this feeling's persistent. Every second off the clock is one too many in my thoughts, and I'm falling off. Buildings in my head, I find it more and more difficult to get out of bed. Was it because of the things that she said? I just need to lay these thoughts to
absolutely phenomenal. Now the tires that we got flipped, unfortunately, don't hold air. Tried filling this one up and it keeps leaking from the back. So what I think happened is maybe they busted the tire. So very unfortunate because these were 351s. These were really good tires. Oh well, it happens. This event was killer. I always love these small parking lot skid pad events. Get so many laps in, so much seat time. So cool. This is the tripod that takes all the B-roll.
Shout out.
Shout out tripod. Good stuff. This is how you Miata.
That was already lifted, painted. Dude, that is freaking sick. I just changed the oil and it runs. Wake up, everyone. Wake up and be inspired.
Wait, that's what that means?
Wake up and be inspired.
You didn't know that?
No, I thought that was just your saying.
No, wake up and be inspired.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. So
That
we
is
took some
good.
time on that. You shot the fender? Oh my god.
I'm guessing not on accident.
No, it was on purpose.
Oops, I missed.
Oops. Yeah.
I've opened my hood a couple times.
This is my 1990 Nissan 300ZX.
Twin turbo.
She's a turd.
Turbo.
A polished turd.
Hell yeah. Good car. Christmas colors.
Not like oil. God damn. He's got the combo in the passenger seat. I wonder why it popped out considering the way she's strategic.
I hope so.
Right there.
I think it's my wrap burning off. My diffuser.
Get this angle right
Oh
here.
man. No sunscreen on the neck?
You gotta do a full 360 on that.
I need it with the light though.
That probably hurts.
Oh, I left rubber on your neck. I'm sorry.
Just did a quick fill up after the event and some food with friends. We got about 15 miles to the gallon today. Honestly not bad considering how much we were sending in. Filling up Mr. Payton's car too while he's in there. So good.